Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
It is 8:45
now be
on
disgusted.
a Saturday morning.
It is. But you know what it isn't? 1 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday night.
That's true.
So, tiny triumphs.
I was so happy when you said you could only do one.
Yeah.
But
Emotionally.
I wasn't happy this morning.
right, when you got up and you're like, what's going to happen? I wasn't happy either, but...
And you're wearing your dark sunglasses indoors.
I'm not. They change with the...
Oh, they do?
Yeah, this
so they're kind of like the creepy glasses that change color?
Yes, exactly. Do you know why? Because Society of the Spectacle, which is a glasses shop in Eagle
Always
Rock.
with the fucking sponsorships here.
You guys, I got a free pair of glasses. They sponsored the Dork Forest. And they gave
really?
Me, yeah,
I
really
was
did.
kidding.
No,
oh, my
they were-
God. Shill. What are you, Ivanka Trump on 60 Minutes?
I am Ivanka Trump on 60 Minutes. Is there anything you guys want to buy a T-shirt? Hats, T-shirts, hooded sweats, seconds and irregulars.
Irregulars.
That's what he's just. That's why Trump is such a smash in the face to me, because he's exactly like the worst dirtbag I ever sold shirts with in college.
And I made up with my mom, and then
Good.
every morning there's a new cabinet position announcement, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch. She wakes up, she's making my son's lunch.
Right.
Dee. And I come in from the garage enraged. You know?
Full of rage. Yes.
Yeah. Jeff fucking Sessions. What happened? Who is that?
Exactly. I talked to my brother, Russ, who's very conservative, who thinks this Trump thing is funny. And you're like, do you? Do you think it's funny?
Oh my God.
And he didn't vote for Trump, but he's just like, who would be a great guy to nominate? Oh, Jeff Sessions. He's like, oh, he did. He did do it. I was like, interesting. Okay. That's,
It's
it's, I don't know. And
I mean, as something comedically a device to push back against, it's almost perfect. You know,
Sure.
It's so awful and horrible.
right. It's Hitler and Donald Duck. Well played.
I mean, Obama was always tough because he's, first of all, he
Squeaky
was
clean, man.
cool and he was likable and you're rooting for him
Mm-hmm.
and he's not part of the white structure. So there's no vulnerable. There's no. I mean, he's all vulnerabilities in a way, you know.
Right.
And then Hillary's, it was, tough in a way because
Bitches, man. What are you going to do? I mean, you can't do that joke.
You can't do that joke,
Right.
and you can't do cankles. That's not cool anymore. Sadly.
Sadly, your cankle material
how
out
many
the door.
pantsuit jokes can I write?
Exactly. So
So
it's a golden age of monologue jokes, is what you're telling me.
In a way, it is.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you're like, is this is part of the normalization? Is you treat this person as if they're an equal to George W. Bush and George H.W. and all the other presidents, and you treat them that
The ones that are flawed white guys.
in
Yeah,
a
it's
way
easy
because
enough.
he's in the position he is an equal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Who-
it's
You going to give him a chance?
a chance
Everybody
to
keeps saying that.
destroy the world.
To destroy the... I was like, a chance? We didn't revolt. That's the chance he gets, right?
Yeah.
The chance is we're not in the streets in an armed insurrection.
Not
So,
yet.
Rise to the occasion, buddy. Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah, I mean, just already, I'm afraid I don't want this to turn into, all politics.
No, me neither.
But
Have you been doing sets
Yes.
since Wednesday?
I was at Flappers in Claremont last night.
Oh, that's right.
I love that room, but fuck, that's a long drive.
It's a hell of a drive.
It's only 38 miles, but it's Los Angeles.
38 miles.
It's 2 hours.
Did you have two shows or one?
2.
Oh,
And I looked on the website and it was set 7:30, and so I got there at 7:30, and it was an 8 o'clock show.
of course it was.
Damn it!
I'm surprised
I
you
double
didn't get
checked,
there
like-
at 7.
No, not me.
No, you don't get there.
Well, I know there's going to be like
at least
people in front of me.
Right.
To get there at 7, I would have had to leave at 4:00.
Exactly. And then you would have got there at 6, and it would have been ridiculous.
It would angry again. I can't take the rages I have all day long about things that really don't matter versus the things that do matter.
Right. And yeah,
and I'm normalizing my own rage. I'm as angry if I got to a gig 2 minutes early as I am at my mom for Jeff Sessions being nominated.
Interesting. Andy got a robocall yesterday, and he said it ruined his day.
What from what?
Just it was a robocall that he's offended that robocalls now sound like real people.
Yeah.
So when you answer, you're like, "Hello," it sounded like whoever the woman. There was a woman fiddling with her headset. And so he was like, "Oh, we're going to pretend that this is real." And so he hangs up and he's like, I want to try to make the world a better place. And then I get a robocall and I was like, "Fuck the world."
Listen,
and I was like, "Calm down." Holy shit.
Who in this day and age answers their phone? That's the first problem with your husband.
Well, safety mouse. Maybe it's important. He doesn't know. He's like, maybe it's important that somebody get in there. It's so 2 shows. Here's what happened when I was at Comedy Works last week, right? Mm-hmm. I have not done a regular week in so long.
Yeah. You've been just doing one-nighters in the theaters.
I've just been one-nighters and then the theaters with Maria. And then so the second show, I was like, "Oh, I'm exhausted."
Yes.
And scratchy throat syndrome is happening for me for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on with my voice.
That's the best voice on stage, though, a scratchy voice.
Oh, because it does something? What does it do?
I don't know. It, like Chappelle has it. You know,
yeah?
Jen Kirkman has it.
Oh.
Who else has it?
I don't know.
TJ Miller has it. There's this sort of scratchiness that I think makes you just listen more than a voice that's smooth in on stage, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know that that's a
well, then
case
my
on radio.
exhaustion is about to pay off. You
Yes.
guys. Well played.
Yes.
It's I did Improv Lab last night.
Oh, I love
with
the lab.
Fielding Edlow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, her show. And
Yes.
it was Sean Conroy and Dan St. Germain, who I missed. And then Kalisa
Hawkins.
Yeah. She just moved here in October.
Did she?
Yeah. She was great.
Yeah, she's very funny. I remember her from New York.
Yeah, New York comic.
Single mom.
Yeah. Super smart. Same age as your boy, her daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
There's
yeah, she's very
arranged
funny.
marriage play date.
She's one of those people who I saw when they were starting, and then I didn't see her for a long time, and then I did. I was like, "What the fuck? My god!" That's just it's so
was
cool
great.
when you all those nights being out and pounding it, and it starts to all come together.
Turns out the work pays off.
It's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
So I was at Claremont last night, and the second I was curled up on the couch. I'm guessing the semen-covered couch, just because anytime it's a couch and they're comedians, there's got to be some
someone has
body fluid
someone
there.
has bodily fluid themselves.
So that's not a slam on flappers. That's a slam on couches and comedians.
That's a slam on the fact that there are public couches in the world.
There needs to be
anywhere that there's a public
Adirondack chairs that are wood and uncomfortable. That really needs to be what's in green rooms.
Exactly.
But
you'd think I'd like bamboo more. Anyway.
So I just kind of between shows I was curled up in a ball and I wore these shoes. I like these shoes, and I keep thinking maybe my feet will stretch them out. Like, it's not happening. They fucking hurt my feet. And I can't stop it.
You could take them to a cobbler.
A what?
Well, there used to be this old timey job called cobbler, and they do. They have shoe stretching technology. I have a good cobbler, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
All
over
right.
over you know where Aroma is in Toluca, kind of
in Toluca Lake?
Yeah, sort of North Hollywood, Toluca
right.
Lake kind of thing. Whatever. We'll talk.
Okay, so anyway,
what kind of shoes are they? Are they amazing? Are
they're
they bright?
boots. They're just nice
awesome
looking boots. The low heel boots. I like a low heel boot.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not a high heel person.
I also
but wait.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Why are we so excited at 8:45 in the morning? That even angers me more.
I have a non-story first, I say to myself. How can I get in on this non-story?
Wait, let me stretch this one out. Let me stretch this 3-sentence observation into 7 minutes and get us out of here. No, because I was so tired, and and I'm like, I don't want to be on stage. I just want to go home. And then, of course, I get up on stage. And, do you have that when you're...
Yes.
But you're so tired, you actually have a better set than when you're not tired because your inhibitions are down. You don't care. And if the audience is good and it was a good little audience...
Yeah.
In that room is like the Yoo-Hoo room.
Yeah, it can have 8 to 12 people.
Yeah,
and
it's
be
fine.
all right.
Now,
Yeah.
it had, it's Lori Kilmartin. It had 12 to 15 people. Okay, thank you.
Finally.
But it was
The
fun.
recognition you've always deserved.
Yes. I felt like, I had a couple riffs and new tries on jokes that are, just new attempts at getting to them and trying a different attitude. Maybe just hold back a little bit on the setup, just kind of chill on the setup and then hit the punchline hard. Those things where you just try vocally changing how you...
fiddle and diddle.
Yes,
and
fiddle and diddle.
And if you don't care, or if you're so tired that you can't care,
Mm-hmm.
but you know that you're at work, sometimes you can create something new from it that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
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 That's great.
And it's just fun, kind of like, I like to go into the crowd on longer sets.
Oh, nice.
And I never do it in LA. And I mean,
but you're doing 245s.
Yeah. And I'm not, first of all, it allows me to not do a lot of material I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I also, I think that's very much a separate skill from just telling jokes, is just talking to the audience and finding something there.
Oh, very much so.
And I like to keep it. I don't want to lose it,
Yep.
So anyway, I had a lot of fun. That's all. And I have 2 tonight. 7 and a 9:30. That means I have to leave.
That means 7:30 and 10 is what.
No, I double checked it 4
did you?
times. I'm like,
Good.
if I get bust my ass, this show better be starting right at 7.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a set. My show starts at 9:30, and I suppose
Where?
Cinefamily.
Oh,
It's one of those,
Theaters, a movie theater.
movie theater, but it's with Guy Branum and Solomon Giorgio.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And but my flight is super early tomorrow again.
Oh my God.
It isn't actually that early,
Did it
but it's
have to be?
LAX. It is because we're performing tomorrow night. I'm going with Maria to do Houston.
Oh,
and so
you're losing 2 hours.
I'll lose 2 hours, but I really want to do that show, mostly because I want to see their sets.
Yeah.
When you're like,
Yeah.
I don't need to go up. That rarely, if ever, happens to me in this case. I'm kind of fascinated by the idea.
Yeah, I would too.
Because I'm wondering if those guys are doing political stuff. I'm sure they are. They're both pretty self-aware.
I'm just adding them as asides to actual jokes.
Okay.
Things that I'm not going to keep, or just when I'm talking to the audience.
Just kind of peppering it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't want to go out of my way to develop Trump material.
No, if I never mention his name in the next 4 years,
He'll
I think
be
I win.
impeached soon enough. And plus we write them all day long, all week. So.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, my brother was
unnecessary.
talking to me about this thing, and he was talking about all the nominations, and I said, this actually sounds like a white supremacist kill list. Like if you wanted to disable the white supremacist movement in this country, if you could destroy those people. And there was this pause, and he was like, "You're kidding, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm not much of a killer, Russ. I don't know what."
I have an idea that I'll never do for a movie.
Yeah?
Or my life. Like, but I always thought
It's a movie or my life.
if I was one of those moms, like the Sandy Hook moms, I'm obsessed with that. And the fact that Trump is in touch with Alex Jones, who thinks that didn't happen, that he's a Sandy Hook truther and thinks it was a hoax designed to get Americans to have to give up their guns. That
Right,
there's
which
that
has so
line of
happened,
thinking.
by the way.
Yeah, really.
in the last 12 years.
Yeah, only since Trump was elected, electorally only, I will continue to point out.
Right.
If we find out the Russians didn't tamper with those votes. The shares of gun companies, their shares have lowered because there's nothing for them to run against. It's
right.
weird. Comedy and gun companies do really well. I mean, comedy doesn't do well when there's a
Right.
Democrat, but gun companies do, and then the reverse.
And the reverse, yeah. Weird.
So here's, if anything happened to my kid, this is what this is the story I've told myself.
Right.
I would dedicate the rest of my life to learning to be a sniper. Right. And then I would start taking out gun manufacturers. I would hunt them.
Right.
Like a big game hunter.
Right.
Like I'm Donald Trump Jr. in Africa. And I would you
Do
know.
not fuck with Laurie Kilmartin's kid, is I guess what we're learning here as a society.
And I would go after Ted Nugent. I would go after Wayne LaPierre. The guy.
You got names.
The Bushman. Oh, yeah. I thought this might be an interesting movie for like Sandra Bullock.
But it might be. It might be.
And clearly, I'm not going to write it. So somebody else do it.
Knock yourselves out, folks.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give me a story by credit and $100.
I'll take that check. Oh, yeah. So the other show I did this week was with Bamford doing her new Netflix special.
Oh,
I opened for her down at the Nokia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
When was that?
that was Thursday night.
She's doing a Netflix special on a Thursday night?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's.
I mean, it's the Nokia, I guess. Yeah.
It was the smaller room too, the Novo room.
Okay.
So, and there was a hockey game. Here's what happened.
Wow. Did you Uber to that?
No, that's what made me Uber to this, because I was like,
You Ubered to the podcast this morning.
I did Uber.
We're making zero. You are actually
I'm in the hole.
$72.
I'm in the whole $35, but at this point, I was like, I've driven so many weird things this week that I'm like, oh, I'm done. I'm done driving for a minute.
You can't be like that in Los Angeles.
It's
you
true.
can't have that attitude.
But
You'll
I'm
go bankrupt.
I will go bankrupt, but I'm going to treat myself right this day. So what happened was I was doing a live Geek and Sundry, Twitch, whatever. These are all words that
Yes.
you don't have any connection with in your head, but they all make sense to some extent.
Oh,
It's an
the apps. Yes.
Well, it's an online streaming TV show that I did online it was Geek and Sundry's. That's the network. Alpha.
Wait, isn't Twitch some kind of...
Video game. It's a streaming thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
We turned tentatively to Kyle. What?
Kyle knows things. Anyway, it was called Game the Game, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And Andy and I went and played a couple of board games with this guy who had been on the Dork Forest. Whatever. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
2 hours of that.
Before the show?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right, and it was. I think I had some bullshit before that, and then I had that, and then in between that, and I had to. My call time for the Netflix thing was 7:00, and so I left at 4.
Okay.
And I.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because I had to go to the Nokia.
Yeah.
And find parking and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and so
they didn't have parking for you?
they didn't. They validated my $27, Staples Center,
Oh.
Nokia thing. So there was parking, but I've never been. It'd be like Universal City Walk or the Mall of America. It's like going to a giant.
Yeah.
And then
Those things I hate going to.
too many things are happening there.
Yes, yes.
So it took me 40 minutes to find parking.
Oh, my God.
To find the lot and then find parking, and so I have the tiniest of all meltdowns with the guy in the call sheet that I called, whoever one of the production assistants was, and he was like, "I got you. I totally got. Don't panic." And so the show is at 7. I walk in. I'm not wearing the right clothes. I don't have any makeup. And
Are you part of the special?
I'm not going to be part of the special, but I
Okay.
need normal makeup, right?
Yes.
We got to bring this up a notch. And matter of fact, the makeup artist lady was like, "Yeah, can I have you? Can I fix
I
your
have you forever.
Can I have you and fix your head?" And I was like, "You can." And so what I usually do when I open for Maria is I do 20 to 25. And that's
Yeah.
really nice of her because, it's a little on the outside. If she's going to do an hour 10,
Yeah.
it's really nice of her to let me do that much time, right?
Yeah.
And so this time,
That should be a 15-minute spot.
it's a 15-minute spot.
good friend. She's a good friend.
She's a good friend. So we're sitting in the green room and she goes, "So I was hoping," and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to do 15 and get the fuck out of the way." And she's like, "Thank you." So
how did she murder? Was it great?
yeah, it was really fun. It was, and then you have to do pickups, and it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because it's a Maria Bamford Netflix special.
Yeah.
Teaser. It's not normal.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be an hour of stand-up comedy. It's
Yeah.
going to be weird because she was also shooting yesterday and today during the day.
Oh boy.
So-
for her special or for her
for
series?
the special.
Okay.
And that was the thing that I said on Wednesday that I told her that I didn't want to do.
Oh.
And
okay.
and I will admit this on the podcast is I had a call time to help for Friday on this special, and then I also got a call for a meeting for a possible talking head show on this other thing web series, and I lied to both of them and said that I had to do the other thing so that I could do fucking nothing. It was nice. Real nice yesterday. Guess what I did? Whole boatload of nothing.
You guys, Kyle did the same thing. You guys both had a day of nothing.
Yes! That's awesome. I did record a Dork Forest with Steve Young. You know Steve Young comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I record. Yeah, we talked, and his dorkdom is hilarious. He likes infused water.
He's just making shit up to be on a podcast. All right.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said, well, he did that thing like on the Dork Forest where someone says, well, I don't have, this isn't that dorky. And then you're like, sure it is. And then the other thing they say is, this is too dorky. And I'm like, not possible. So there's a Venn diagram.
How about a thing I like to have for breakfast occasionally, Forrest?
Emily Gordon did Breakfasts of the World as a dorkdom. It's one of the best episodes.
Interesting.
It was. She talked about some Malaysian breakfast that she had that sounded amazing that I've never got to have.
I wish, Anthony Bourdain was on Conan this week, and he's been around a lot, and I haven't watched his show or been aware of him. Except I just put all the chefs in one category of people I don't want to know. But he seems to be different, and I don't. What channel is his show on? CNN. Okay,
there you go.
That's. All right, so
that's
I'm not going to
news-like.
see
That's
it.
newsworthy.
But I wish I was more curious about food. Like when I went to Japan, I only ate rice. And then I went to like their version of 7-Eleven, which was often a 7-Eleven, and I would just get stuff
enough
there.
Rage. You went to Japan for like a week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and you ate at 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to cut myself. I can't. So, what's your favorite food? I was gonna. I did this other
like
question.
Sourdough bread with.
You're from the Bay Area.
Yes, with peanut butter on it and red delicious apple slices.
Red Delicious?
Yes. Do you know what the red delicious apple is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only apple I eat.
This is the.
I'll walk. I don't give a shit. I don't have to be here for an hour.
I will walk out before you. I will
Fuck
storm
this
out.
podcast.
I will storm out with your red delicious fucking apple.
Sliced,
chunky
on
or
peanut,
creamy?
Creamy.
Okay.
On peanut butter, on toasted.
Fuck all of those foods.
Sourdough.
Yeah. Do you make your own bread? Is there anything there?
No, but I make my own toast.
Well, I love it when you cook. What's your boy's favorite? What's the son's favorite food?
He takes after
Cheetos?
his mother.
Fruit roll-ups? What the fuck is he eating?
He likes toast. He's
He likes toast.
Thank God, that's all I make.
It's like a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving
Sourdough
with
bread.
you.
There's no sugar in it. It's very good for you. And peanut butter is all protein. You tell me what's wrong with that meal, plus some fruit.
There's nothing wrong with that meal except for the lack of joy involved.
Well, guess what? Luckily, I don't
You're
like
not looking
joy.
for joy.
Yeah. I reject
Write
it
that down.
and so does my family. I live with
As a people.
with the Joy Denier.
Right, the Joy Denier. Yes. So this what
So I had a meeting yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I'll write it down. It's
someone fancy.
Wow. But it wasn't the big guy.
Okay.
It was just people that work for him.
Sure. The
But
minions.
it was just like a meet and greet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It was fun.
I can tell you that my meeting was
that.
with Geek and Sundry.
Okay.
Less exciting. Anyway.
But it's I didn't understand those meetings when I first went on them, and I have been on very few people want to meet or greet me. So I haven't been on many, but there are these things where they just kind of like get to know you. They sort of, take out sticks and poke you.
Right.
And go,
right.
What makes you cry?
Right,
Who are you?
Right. How bendy are you?
Yeah. What can we do with you? Is there something we can consider you for?
Yeah.
And you sort of don't know what you're supposed, it ends up just being talking.
How many have you been?
When I
Like
first.
more than a handful? Or
No,
a handful?
about a handful.
About a handful. I've been a little bit less than a handful.
Yeah.
I never know what to do.
Well, and then we just started. I was asked when I started doing comedy, and I sadly told the truth. And then there was like a little pause.
Yes.
I don't know what,
Because they look at you and they're like, oh, she's 37. We might be able to do something with her.
Are you serious? Oh my God. No, they
great.
don't. No one looks at me and thinks I'm 37.
Well, I don't know. Why not? It's you look good. It's all working out. Anyway.
But here's my point. They would find out the truth soon enough.
Well, that's it. I mean, eventually they take a core sample and then all of a sudden they fucking know.
I should pretend I'm 35 but I'm totally open on this podcast. I'm 51. You know what? You fuckers in the industry, you listen to the podcast and you find out how old I am.
Exactly. And
that's on you.
I love that you shaved 2 years off of that. You're like, 37 isn't good enough. You got to go 35.
Yes.
Oh, that's
but
too
what
funny.
I do think like now, there might be more of a market for us.
Sure.
Because people are into niche shows that niche shows that it doesn't have to appeal to everybody, and 16-year-old boys just starting their masturbation career,
there's plenty of work for them. There's plenty of stuff for them to look at. And then like Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, that's amazing, right?
Frankie and Grace.
Yeah, Frankie and Grace. Baron Vaughn's on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What
So anyway, what I'm saying is I don't think, I know that there's still that feeling or that theory that women have to like lie and they're thrown away. In a way we are, but I feel like I was tossed very early on.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I'll just make my home here on the garbage heap of unwanted toys and see if I can come up with my own thing here,
Yes, please. I'm gonna make my home on this garbage heap of unwanted toys. I'm gonna play with these broken toys. You guys have whatever fun you want to do later. And
but I know some. Wait, I'm gonna write down.
And we'll make
name.
our own fun, right? We'll make our own fun.
I know somebody who's our age who had some early success.
Sure.
And probably wishes she was us right now.
Oh, you know what? I don't think you're wrong. I don't think that you're wrong. And because she can be a little grumpy. Mm-hmm. And because it is.
And wasn't probably a good manager of money.
Oh, right.
If you get money at a young age and then you start thinking, oh, I'm on the success train and it will never stop. And you're not good.
If as opposed to us, we're now 51 and there's some money coming in and I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking squirrel. I'm going to squirrel this away.
And also I'm like, I want the success train to stay at the station because I'm very comfortable here now. I mean, I need to slow it down. Don't take off.
If it goes any higher, it's going to really interfere with my life.
I know. I've got my commute all figured out. Please, nobody offer me anything that will.
Oh my God,
that will ruin it.
That's hilarious.
The industry says okay,
and the industry says okay. I did because I did 15 minutes. I actually did 17 minutes in front of Maria. I went 2 minutes.
What if she cuts you off and never talks to you again?
Right. What if she says, "This is it.
This is it. I put up with enough.
I've put up. Yes, we finally." And it was. I said. I did probably 22 minutes worth of material in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, you people can fucking laugh later. I want to talk. I want to tell you haircuts these jokes. And afterwards, and there were a lot of people in the audience actually who I knew who had just come, they're friends of Maria's.
Yeah.
Or supportive of Maria. So
I hate that.
Yeah, I like them to be strangers.
Yeah.
Because then I know that they haven't heard the jokes before.
Yes.
And
yeah, that's when we were at Crab Apples the other night. I was like, oh, there's comics in the back of the room. They fucking heard this shit. You know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to do the joke, but I there's this joke I keep rewriting. I'm like, I know there's something there. I know it. I just haven't. And I had a B version for a long time that I was like,
it'll do, but
but I don't like it. And then I ended up just, shoving it out because there's after a while and in a 10 or 15 minute set, there's no room for B stuff that isn't improving, Yeah. And then I just, when I got to, I did the ripped bodice.
Yeah. Which is Aaron Judge and
Yes.
Jenny
Yeah. It's
Shalakian.
called Romance.
Romancing the Rip Bodice, and it's
Romancing not the Stone. That's a movie.
right? Romancing the Adventure of Stand-Up Comedy. Who cares? It's over at the.
Who does? Okay.
It's
yeah.
over at the. Yeah.
In St. Culver City. But it was really fun. And
she was talking about how great she was psyched that you were coming.
oh yeah, it was
Jenny
cool.
Shalakian.
Yes. So there's a little place you can sit in the back, and I got there early to my rage. But then I was like, hey, whenever I get there early, I just crack open the notebook, especially if there's room to read or there's light.
Yeah. It's well lit.
And I just start opening, just looking at jokes and, going back to the first pages of the notebook, 'cause I'm almost at the end of this one.
Oh, wow.
And going, what was I trying to figure out, 2 months ago
yeah.
that I didn't. And so then I wrote a different version of the same theme.
Oh, good.
And it worked there. And it kind of worked in Claremont last night. I'm not sure I have it in the right place.
Right. But it's back in rotation?
This new version is in rotation. And it's going to see if it can withstand New York audiences all next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm doing a couple podcasts next week.
Well,
Or I'm doing 2. I'm doing Keith and the Girl, and I'm doing the Stern wrap-up show.
okay.
Yeah, Howard Stern wrap-up show. Not Howard Stern, but the show afterwards.
Oh.
Who someone hooked me up, who
Yeah.
I will thank privately because you don't want every comic going, hey, can you get me in any? Yeah, but thank you to
Right.
the person who
This
made
is
that
a public
happen.
thank you to you who know
a private
who you
person.
are. Yes, you know who you are.
Yes.
And I would like to thank actually everyone that's ever helped me. If we're doing that, let's do it, but not individually.
So
I have a joke. I have a joke that that is in its B. It's in its B stand, and so I think it's got. It's got so much potential that if I can just get the wording right, it leads into jokes that weren't working before. So it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Like now the whole thing is an amorphous kind of mess.
Yeah.
That half punches. But before it was punchline in the beginning of it, and then I kept talking. So who the fuck wants that? Nobody wants that. Stop talking. You get the laugh. The ticket. Anyway, so I like that idea of that. And so what do you have a comic of the week?
Yes, I do.
Oh, thank God, because I don't.
It's Zara, remember?
Oh, right.
It's Zara Noora. Okay.
How do you
fuck.
spell it?
I know her, and I don't know how to say her last
my
name.
God.
I just know her.
Right.
Noora Bakhsh. I'm going to guess. Noora Bakhsh. It's Noorbaksh. Her name, but she's from the Bay Area.
Okay.
She wrote a book the same time Shitty Mom came out, and we did this literary festival together she wrote it. One of her stories was in an anthology.
Oh, wow.
I think of Muslim American women or something.
okay.
It was a comedic. And so she read hers, and I read a little bit of Shitty Mom, and then we've worked together on various shows. She's a very funny comedian.
Yeah.
And her Twitter
still Bay Area.
I think she is still
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm always shocked when anyone's still Bay Area. Like, what is your housing situation? That's my first question.
Right. Where do you live?
How do you? Yeah, I mean, people still have their.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some comics that are, I know that are assume they're going to be evicted soon.
Right.
What a terrifying, just fucking awful. By the way,
Right.
fuck you, everybody. Anyway, Zara.
Really sums it up.
Is her Twitter is at Zara Comedy, and Zara is ZAHRA.
Oh, okay.
Not
It's
like
not
Zara, the
Z-A-R-A.
clothing store.
It's
Yeah.
ZAHRA.
Yeah, and I think she's
That's awesome.
Iranian American.
Okay, I'm
And-
hoping
yeah.
to meet her when I'm up in the Bay Area next
cool.
week. I added a Friday, so now I have a set.
What are you doing?
The
So that
third,
you're doing
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. The 10th I'm opening for Maria at some fancy venue.
where?
Don't know. And check my website, you guys, JackieCation.com or
What a
Maria's.
dick move.
What? The people have
Just
to
to
click
get
on something?
Yeah, just to get people to check your website.
Well, here's what I know. The Saturday is in Oakland.
Yeah.
The Sunday is in Santa Cruz.
That's where the Maria show is.
No.
Oh,
The-
okay.
The Monday is at Doc's Lab in the Mission.
I love
The
that
Tuesday
room.
is Throckmorton.
Doc's Lab isn't in the Mission, though.
Oh, who cares?
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It used to be the Purple Onion.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
did it?
Yeah. So it's right
That's what
near.
Doc's Lab
It's
is?
right on Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a little down from.
So Monday's Doc's Labs, Tuesday is Throckmorton in Mill Valley.
Yeah.
Wednesday is the Masses in Walnut Creek, and then Thursday is Thursday. Oh, I have to drive to Arcata, California.
Oh, my God.
4 hours north of the Bay Area.
You know, that'll be a relaxing drive, though. It's
It
up
will
to
be nice.
5. There'll be
with
no
Dash
traffic once you get
Kwiatkowski.
out of. Pardon me?
Do you know Dash Kwiatkowski?
I don't know.
He still lives in. I think he might live with his folks, though. I don't know where.
That's what I did till I was 32.
Yeah, because it's the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Try to find.
And that's
some
what I'm
housing.
doing now. I just fucking realized.
It's the opposite. It's the opposite. She's living with you.
Yes.
And then Friday, I added this Friday, which is called Debasement.
Yeah.
And it's in a basement. Get it?
I do.
All right. And it's on that I think is in the Mission, Debasement. And then Saturday is the Maria gig.
Oh, cool. That's a sweet week.
Yeah.
We're going to have to figure out a time to record a bunch of podcasts before that. Because
right.
I get back on the 27th and you're leaving on what?
The 3rd.
Oh, okay. We have time.
So we'll have a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And that'll be good. And then I'm not coming back, and I'll come back that Sunday, so maybe let's schedule it now online during this show. Let me get my phone out. I know how much you love that. So I wanted to ask you this question, a creative question. What else are you good at? Like, you know how we've been doing stand-up for a gajillion years?
Yeah.
Do you also paint?
No.
Do you also sing?
No.
Do you dance?
No.
Is there? Okay, I'm just curious.
This line of questioning is making
depressing?
me feel terrible about
I'm so
myself.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't do any of those things either, but I want to.
Oh, other comics is what you're saying. There's other comics that can sing and they play music and they can
Triple
paint.
threat.
Yes.
They could dance, and you're like, what is happening?
I know.
Play an instrument.
Yeah.
It's funny. This morning, Andy's taken to doing reveille in the morning for no reason.
Wait, what is a reveille?
It's a.
Is that some kind of that thing?
Yeah, that's.
What do you mean he's doing it? Does he
He's
have a
just doing
trumpet?
exactly what I'm doing, which is and in high school I played the trumpet.
You did?
And, yes. And so this morning he was explaining to me that reveille is traditionally played on the bugle, which doesn't have any buttons. And I was like, you mean valves, and I know how to play reveille on the bugle. And so that's what made me think of this
Bugle
entire
buttons.
bugle buttons, the trumpet. I was like, okay. So, but it made me think about other things that I want to do creatively,
Yeah.
Like, because you remember that old Mitch Hedberg joke about you're a farmer and then they want to know if you can also be an accountant or whatever the hell the joke was.
Yeah.
Because you do stand-up and then you move to L.A. and they're like, oh, can you act and write and also be a screenwriter and an actor? And so I was thinking, what other things could I offer to humanity besides my stand-up comedy?
Like
Creatively.
I think I think I'm a decent parent. Like I know how to get out of the way and just kind of
Let them grow
try
up.
to be themselves.
That's neat.
So I've always thought, well, maybe one day I could have like a foster child, one that's grown up enough where I don't have to, be around too much. I can still do spots, but
Right.
if I have a clean bed, you can
Yeah.
have your own room. I'll
Yep.
get you your own furniture. We'll paint it so it feels like it's yours.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Have a safe place to live.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be something.
If I can make you toast and peanut butter and red delicious apples every morning.
Right, and that kid will be like, "No galas? You're not gonna branch out." Give me another
I would not foster a gala apple child.
Well, there's the line.
Oh, I added to my after two or whatever our last podcast, I was talking about Save the Children.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait, why do I have a white kid? Is that some? I felt this thing like, oh, Appalachia gets underserved.
Yeah.
But you know what? All these think pieces now of what about, Appalachia and this white. I'm like, we're all paying attention to them now. They're not being, so I didn't cut off this kid, but I did add another kid.
Thank God you're just like, no, you're just a little too white.
My little brood of monthly charges on my
I
credit
know it.
card.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That is,
Okay.
Yeah, I actually would like that list because I got to figure something out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I donated to the food bank because I always donate to the food bank in November and December.
I do. They're on my monthly.
They're on the monthly?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's, yeah, because food's good. People like it.
It's and they're like the percentage of money that you donate that goes right into the mouths of people that need it. It's like really high. It's like
better.
97%
Yeah,
or something
it's
crazy.
right. If you donate food to the food bank, that's great.
Yeah.
But if you donate money to the food bank, it's better just because they can get more food for it.
Yeah, and they can get better food for people.
Yeah.
They don't need your fucking garbanzo beans you decided not to eat 3 years ago.
Exactly. Though you can also give them that. So, Andy's favorite thing at the holidays is the toy drive
Yeah.
because he loves to buy toys.
Yeah.
But we don't have any room. So he's like, let's go spend $100 on toys for kids. And I'm like, let's do it.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah, it's his favorite thing. So we go to Toys R Us and fill up a cart and then just dump it at the other side of Toys R Us checkout because they just bring it right to the Marines
really?
or whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they have something like that at Warner Brothers. I
Yeah.
should make sure I remember to do that too.
Yeah, it's and our breakfast place has it too. So
Yeah.
whatever. Hey, can I ask how long we've been?
Seriously.
39.
God damn. I feel like we covered a lot. Look at her face. You guys
Wow.
can't see her face.
Wow.
Usually you're nonplussed. You don't care. You're ready to talk
I
for 4
genuinely
more hours.
thought we were close to like 50.
I
I
know.
really did.
Hold on.
Yeah, check your. Let's go to the notes. You
Let's
guys.
go to our notes.
Let's see if there's anything.
Nope. Talked about it. Talked about it.
Right.
Who's is that? Is that someone else's podcast notes right up there? Is that like Pete Holmes or something?
That is Pete Holmes.
So he puts up like a cue card basically that he can go to.
Yeah.
That's smart.
It is smart. It's almost
Let's
like
never do that.
Yeah, like he owns the joint. Jesus, what's going on, man?
And he leaves them up. That's like him peeing on that's him telling us this is my
This is his
studio.
Yeah, exactly.
You sit where I shit.
Wow, that is pretty. It's so I've decided to retire the service animal bit. Kalisa did the. I'm going to put that on the back burner because it's not. It ends up sounding too mean, and quite honestly, I don't really want to do anything that's going to make anybody sad right now.
I know.
I think there's enough worries in the world for people to not. I mean, I'm still gonna. There's gonna be some weird jokes, but it's not gonna be.
Isn't it weird how your intentions change over time as what you want to do on stage and what you want to talk about? Like I remember in New York, I had a bit where I said the N-word.
Yep.
And the bit was about the N-word and being white, and I don't remember the bit right now.
Okay.
And it was whatever that exploration was.
Yeah.
But I was always uncomfortable doing it, which is sort of why I
There's
kept
a flag,
doing
right?
it.
Yeah.
And then
But you kept doing it because you're like, oh, I don't want to be uncomfortable. I get it.
yeah. And I didn't want to be afraid, and I didn't, and it was mostly to white audiences. So that there's all those layers of things going on,
Right.
And then I did it at Caroline's, and then afterwards, a black woman came up to me and was talking to me about it.
Yeah.
And she said it was upsetting.
Oh, there you go.
And normally I'm like, fuck you. Guess what? I'm just double the length of that joke.
Exactly. Watch this.
But that's always I'll tell you a second story about when someone was upset by another joke that I basically said that to.
Right.
But then I was like, after I remember talking to her on the stairs going up Caroline's,
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, all right, I proved to myself that I can live in the discomfort of saying that word on stage and whatever, analyzing it. Now, it's not getting a great laugh. Sometimes it's getting laughs from comics, which is that's also another thing of, do you want to fall in love with a joke that only comedians laugh at?
Right.
You really don't.
No shit.
And
Yes.
now, not only is all that happening, but this person who came out to a show, I don't know, like it's like you do bear some responsibility of, if I'm going to throw this word out there and it's going to cause discomfort among white people, okay, I don't care about that. And if it's going to cause pain with black audience members, I do care about that. Now, is the joke so good that I'm
Yes.
willing to go, hey man, that's your problem.
Right.
No,
It
wasn't
not.
that good.
It wasn't that good. And the fact
And then I just sort of stopped doing it because I didn't want that to be a component in my act. I didn't want that response.
Right.
I don't mind the divisiveness
That's
if I
amazing.
can figure out a way to patch it. Like I do try to do that, to split people and phrase them back together with
right.
the joke.
Right.
But
That's fascinating.
in this case, I was like,
No, the fact that you could hear that woman, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because our knee jerk reaction is I wrote a joke. Fuck you.
yes.
And but that is very complex. The idea that is the joke good enough to warrant continuing, like clearly making someone uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and doesn't even say anything more about the topic that you've talked about. You know, is it really revealing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
anything about yourself or about the topic?
Yeah.
And if it's
And
not doing any of that, fuck it.
And does it, I mean, that's the thing about comedy though. It used to be like, you know, I'm just going to try to get away with all this stuff. See if I
Oh,
can get
interesting.
away with it. And now what I want from it is it's more important to see
That's
if I
an-
can cut my wrist and expose this pain
Right.
or this anxiety or whatever it is and flip it into a way that gets a laugh.
Yep.
Then I feel like I won.
Then you did something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I think that's an early.
my desire for what I want jokes to do on stage has changed remarkably since
I think that's an
first
early
started.
thing is to see what you can get away with.
Yeah.
Because you're also very monkey like, where we're all just throwing shit at the wall.
Yes, right.
So,
Yeah, you don't know what, like, you know, you don't know if you're a deadpan comic until you get away with it.
Right.
You know, and then if you tell a joke and then you smile at the end of it and it gets a laugh, you're like, oh, I have to smile. I'm one of those people that has to smile.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I am
You personally?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I sometimes I notice like, I'm just holding my face really, because I don't like smiling on
Okay.
stage because
Right.
I
You feel like-
I just feel like, you know, I look like a donkey. Go
well,
ahead.
no, but I think I have a hard time smiling. I will smile on stage because I will sometimes make myself laugh, but I make sure not to laugh at my own fucking jokes because it irritates me when comics laugh at
Sometimes
their
I
own
laugh
jokes.
at the reaction to the audience, or I
Yes.
laugh with them. But
But it's usually a beat after, like
yes,
I let
yes,
them
yes,
laugh
yeah.
first.
Yeah, if your fake laugh is part of why the joke is working, you're
I
a
want-
fucking hack.
I want to bury you headfirst
Yes,
in the sand,
and I know exactly
genuinely
who I'm
cannot.
thinking about right now.
Me too.
Let me see. Is it the same person?
Maybe,
Hold
but
on.
No, I don't even know who that is.
Oh, really?
That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh,
How
you're
irritating.
right.
Yeah, it's irritating.
Wait, hold on.
And she's a genius. Yes.
Yes.
No, as well.
Drives me up the fucking wall.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Are you really
It's,
surprised? Did you shock yourself with a joke you've told 400 times already? That's what a laugh is. It's a surprise. It's a
Right.
genuine laugh is surprise.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. And that's why, yeah. So I love the idea that there is that what you want to do with the comedy is not see how far you can go for the sake of seeing how far you can go.
Yeah.
But seeing how kind of I like to turn it around and see how deep I can go.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and grab something down there.
But that's new. That's a newer thing.
yes.
Because I have more depth emotionally than I did when I was younger. I
Yep.
was just a horrible zombie when I was younger. You know, denying all feelings, denying all humanity. You know,
Just eating fucking creamy peanut butter with apples, red delicious. And what was the other story?
Oh, okay. So then I used to have this joke about I would never adoption. I would never adopt it, and I'm just doing a bad version of it because
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how I said it.
Right.
But I would never adopt a kid because you don't know what you're getting. You could get, a kid that's sorry,
Goers.
retarded.
Well,
This is back in the days.
back in the day when you could say retarded, and retarded is actually a
But then
medical term.
but I'd say it in a way to sound deliberately ignorant. I
Yeah.
mean, I was selling it over the top like I'm
Yeah.
an idiot. And I would say, you know what? Why don't I just wait till I'm 40? I could have a retarded baby for free.
Oh Jesus
And-
Christ! Making
So-
friends, making
so
friends.
a woman who was adopted didn't care for that joke.
Gee, I wonder why.
So she follows me out. I was at the comic strip. She follows me out
Yeah.
to the bar, and she's really angry, and but her objection isn't that I would what the joke. She's just like, I was adopted and I didn't think it was funny.
Oh, right.
And then of course, I all of a sudden my middle fingers go up, and like, now I know why your birth mother gave you up.
Oh, fuck you. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
what was the here's the other thing is when someone comes up to me after a show and says that joke offended me or that joke irritated me, and they tell me why, if they are reasonable about it.
Yeah.
If they are not half in the bag themselves or completely fucked up, drunk, and they're not just going, I was raped in Utah, you said the word rape.
Right.
You're like, just talk to me about why it really upset you, and I will consider that.
Yeah.
Because, it's like whenever anybody steals a joke.
Yeah.
I always think, well, write another joke. You're fucked.
that's not what I think.
That isn't?
When someone steals your joke?
Well, if someone steals,
Have you had stuff stolen to your knowledge?
I can't remember, which probably means no.
Yeah.
So
I think if you actually had a chunk taken and done on television,
Yeah.
you wouldn't feel so
blasé
sanguine
about
it. Yes.
Well, no, I would still be mad.
Yeah.
I would be very mad, but I would also have to know that I would have to write another fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
There was in the 90s, I think it was, I was hanging out with Dave Mordahl and Matt Weinhold, a couple of old-timey comics.
yeah. Well,
And-
Matt Weinhold was like the feature, the rising feature in San Francisco when I started.
Oh my
he was
God.
working everywhere all the time. So funny. Such a funny guy.
Yes,
Yes.
He's genuinely
great.
a great comic. And so, but someone had stolen, or because there's parallel thought and then there's stealing, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that this was an example of parallel thought, but we had this conversation about what to do in that case. And it was, remember when everyone was doing that joke about Barbie and Ken and the divorced Ken, where he gets all of the divorced Barbie, where she gets all of Ken's shit?
Yeah.
Remember that premise?
Yeah.
So it was a very popular nugget in the late 90s.
Definitely, that's a keeper no matter what.
Well,
you got to fight over that joke.
Exactly. Well, that's
fucking
what
Ken doll joke.
Exactly. So we were all just sort of mocking the idea that was something that wasn't
Yeah.
easily replaceable.
Yeah.
Because you have to pick your battles. It's not like Dana Gould has had stuff lifted that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And
By who?
well, I think SNL did one of his bits back in the 90s.
Fuck. No way.
Yeah, and it was brutal. And he was like, I'm still mad about that. And so,
I would be livid.
right, because it's not like they
Raging.
don't have money.
I almost said rigid.
You
like
would
I
be
had
rigid.
raging
Raging
and
livid.
livid were colliding in my brain at the same time.
Right.
That happens all the time to me, by the way. I have two word options, and I'm
Yeah.
at the end of my sentence, and they both just jam together and make a word that doesn't make sense.
It isn't real. It's maybe you're creating language. Maybe that's another one of your gifts.
But I am, if somebody's has an objection to a joke, I am sort of interested, because I feel like I'm really trying to write in a way where it's bulletproof.
And that's new. That's, for me to give a shit is actually
Yeah,
new.
and
Because
so-
I didn't used to care.
So I think, okay, it's either this person is just not someone I'm going to get on
Right.
my side, or
they have a point.
I'm missing. This stone isn't completely polished the way I want it to be.
Right.
Because but I haven't had that in a while. I mean, it's I still, whenever I say abortion, you're just going to lose some people right
Yep.
off the bat,
Yeah.
and you just have to accept it.
I did a college
And then get 'em back.
20 years ago or whatever, and I had a UNICEF joke about rice. And it was about Indonesia and UNICEF and rice. That's all I remember about the joke.
That's all you need to know.
That's it. And a Malaysian woman came up to me afterwards, and she said she didn't appreciate the implication that everyone in Malaysia and Indonesia got UNICEF. And I said, that joke actually came from the fact that my friend who's Indonesian got UNICEF. That's where the joke came from. So it wasn't, I was like, I'm not going to change that joke, because that joke is based on a true thing.
Yeah.
But thank you for your input. No, I did not even say that. I think
Yeah.
my fingers also went up, and I was like, fuck Fuck you, kid. We're both in our, we're both 12 years old, and you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
So
that's why when, like I thought the debate about rape jokes was and is interesting, like if you're bringing that word up, I thought it was really great to remind everybody that, probably 25% of your audience is now going to be thinking about their rape. For
their own sexual assault.
1 second to the next 40 minutes.
Yes.
Right. And not, you go through the day, you hear that word all day long. If you're listening to the news or whatever, you'll whatever it is, you'll be confronted with it. So you're used to going that and then jumping back into the present moment, but, so your joke, ideally your joke is so good that it can bring, it's worth the fact that you're going to lose people for a little bit while they go, oh, that thing. Right. And then they go, wait, I'm at a comedy club. Never mind. What?
Right.
Like during that 10 seconds where they reset themselves, they're not hearing your joke. They're not hearing the words, the 5 words you've carefully picked.
You're going to lose them for the next joke.
Yeah, so maybe. So it's just a good, so I thought it was good to.
For self-aware?
I like as I'm not that aware of things, especially when I was a younger comic and I was a female, and that's a female thing mostly to worry about. So it's not shocking at all that most male comics were like, what?
Right. That's a great impression. You want to write down some names of who that is?
But I do think it's always as a performer, it's always, your words are the only thing you have, actually. And so each one you really are in a way like a poet, where each one you have to choose precisely. And and knowing,
you do that better than I do. I mean, the way you write jokes is very surgical. You're like, okay, this is the joke, and then how can I tweak the one joke? And it's really cool watching you do stand up, because it changes. It just changes until you get it right. Until you're like, this'll do. And now I'm going to write something else.
The patient is finished.
Exactly. I'm done. Clear. You step away.
Thank you. I'm uncomfortable with compliments. Let's move on.
Exactly.
How much? Come on, Kyle.
We're at 55.
Oh,
really?
That's
great. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing the thing. Let's see. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I'm going up with Andy's moms and his cousins. We're going up to Central Valley. Going to probably drive.
Where?
Near Visalia.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where...
the onion capital of the world.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I enjoy an onion.
Maybe not the capital, but definitely one of the top.
You ever drive within 50 miles of Gilroy?
Yes.
Holy hell.
Garlic capital.
The garlic capital of the world, and there's no mystery. And, I wonder about the kids, the people who grow up there, when they go elsewhere, what their olfactory senses are. And
what about the people, if you drive up the 5, there's that cow slaughter.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The happy cows that are standing in their own mud.
Now, my friend John Boyle, who's a really funny comic from San Francisco a long time ago, he's not doing comedy anymore, and I don't know what happened to him, but he used to call it Cowschwitz. And then I tagged it not as effectively as Dachau. But either way, it's a concentration camp.
It's a fantastic. Those are both, as far as puns go.
It's a concentration camp for cows on the 5, and it's horrible.
They're outstanding in their field, those cows.
All right, I have to leave exactly at
Oh, right. You have to affect change.
Yes.
At a grassroots level.
I don't.
Are you heading back to the valley?
Appointment. Yeah, I'm going to Encino. I can give you a ride to Encino?
Yeah, I'll take it. That'll shave probably $10 off of my Uber.
That's what I'm here for.
Exactly. I like it.
So we got to be at 57 now, right?
Good, yeah.
All
this
right.
seems lovely.
It's plenty. Check out Zara Comedy, ZAHRA.
Yeah,
comedy. And then I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
And go see live comedy, because it will be lovely.
Yeah, bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.